You got the thumbs up? No. How do we know when we're live? Ah, we're live. Yeah, I'm totally expecting the picture of Yakubuski to fall down behind me during this, just to startle me in this. Hey, welcome. I hear there's a bunch of you guys out there. Just today, we're not doing any teaching today, so I'm sorry if you came for some nullification or that's not today. I want to talk about what we're proposing to do, or what we are going to start doing starting next week. It's the Smart Operator Fundamentals, and whoa, he is triggering the wrong guy. Here we go. I would say start again, but we can't do that. So you guys just have a good laugh at this one. Okay, Smart Operator Online. I've started calling it up. And there you are. Okay, kids. Here's a thing to learn. This is why we do a fundamentals class. Is you learn that when you send commands into a computer, it's going to go to whatever window has the focus. There's a lesson. That was a teachable moment. So again, sorry, welcome, rough start. I'm calling this SOFO, is basically Smart Operator Fundamentals Online. My name's Jamie Anderson. I assume I've met a few of you guys. I'm the President, Director of Training, SysTweak here at Rational Acoustics. We are Rational Acoustics. We're located up in the quiet corner of Connecticut. So welcome. So I want to talk to you about our fundamentals training. We started up Rational, an absolutely core part of our support for the smart measurement platform is training. It's integral to the whole process, both in getting the knowledge about the system out and also getting feedback back from people. And so over the last 12 years, we built up quite a good group of people that are out there supporting training. We're now at about over 25 instructors. If you want to check out their bios, a lot of them are at rationalacoustics.com. We're doing almost over 200 training classes per year. If you go with both private and public classes, probably more than that at this point. Basically, any week of the year, almost there's gonna be a few classes going on in over 25 countries and over 10 languages, and I'm not even counting Canadian and Australian and English as different languages. I mean, we've just got a lot of stuff going on throughout the world. We have some great people that are doing this training, and the platform has continually grown and benefited from this interaction. So this is one of the core reasons why we started Rational over 12 years ago. In fact, our birthday is coming up on April 1st. So next week we will be 12 years old, even dozen. And as our software has grown and matured, our training programs have grown and matured. We've ended up adding a lot of great instructors out there. And one of the great things about this is these are people that have a wealth of different experiences. And so in our training, it's very important to us that the classes that are being taught by our instructors are their own classes in their own words. We don't want something that's cookie cutter. It's very important that you're out there listening to the instructor speak. They have different specialities. They have different takes on things. And so that's been a really great strength to the Smart platform and to the Rational instructor base. But we did start taking a look, and over the last few years, we were looking at the curriculum, and we wanted to create at least some basic uniformity for the fundamentals trainings, for the Smart Operator Fundamentals. And so what are we talking about with the Operator Fundamentals? So there's a lot of different courses that we teach. Some instructors teach acoustic classes, some teach tuning classes, some teach system tuning. Well, I just said system tuning classes. But we started off for the fundamentals. We started off with a basic statement, and that is Smaart, in its essence, is just a tool. It's a tool that we use as sound engineers. It helps us when we're making decisions. It's nice. You probably all heard somebody say somebody smarted the system, and that's flattering because we have the Smaart platform. But it's really a BS term, and a lot of you have heard me say this already. But it's just a tool. I don't talk about having a carpenter come over and Black and Decker my house or something like that. And so Smaart is not a school of kung fu or a technique of doing something. And so we want to treat the fundamentals class. If you go to a fundamentals class anywhere in the world, you're getting a basic set of knowledge. And so we put together a couple years ago, I'll pull up a little document that a lot of our instructors have seen before. But we put together an outline of what we expected a basic or a fundamentals class to contain. And I'm just going to scroll through this really quickly. There's tons and tons of stuff in here. But this is what we felt that if you were going and taking a rational acoustics Smaart fundamentals class, it would contain some or all of what's listed in this right here. So I'll jump back over and get back into PowerPoint. There are two basic reasons why people are coming to a operator fundamentals class. One is that they want to be operators, and then we have operators. And just to give some context here, so an operator is somebody that wants to sit down and actually power up the software, plug in the system, do the measurements, get their work done, have that tool that really works for them. One of the keys of the training class is about efficiency, because time is a critical element in a lot of the stuff that we do. And so one of the critical things in training operators is training them to be able to set up their system and to configure it, do it quickly, efficiently. We go by Erica's rule, which is basically just set up your system every time you go out and do a gig so that you can be very fluid in getting that together, because someday you're only going to have 10 minutes, but if it takes you 10 minutes to get your tools set up, it's not a useful tool for you. So that some people are coming to the class to be operators. And then we have operators. Operator is somebody that's not going to learn all the keystrokes, not move the data around on the screen, or know how to trigger this measurement or this measurement. You got to keep in mind that in using a tool like this, Smaart isn't the analyzer. You're the analyzer. And so you're the one reading the data, making the decisions. So a lot of using this tool is about getting the information fed into you so that you can make the right decisions. And so operators, a classic operator is my friend Dave Gunnis, who Dave, we've done many tuning gigs together, and he's always threatened to learn how to use Smaart, but he doesn't need to learn Smaart because he knows how to operate me or Rich and have somebody running the measurement, so that there are a certain percentage of people that are coming to the classes that really are just there to understand what the measurement can do and how to read the data, and let an operator get you those measurements. But we have to assume that if you come to a Smaart fundamentals class, that you're going to learn how to be an operator, not just an operator. And so we kind of break down the material in the fundamentals class into three parts. We got the measurement theory for all you geeks out there, and I hear there's a lot of you. This is interesting. This is platform agnostic. We don't own the concepts. These are, there's a lot of interesting stuff out there, interesting math. Really, there is interesting math. But the thing is that you're not going to need a lot of that stuff. So what we try and do is boil it down into the core concepts that you need to be able to operate Smaart and wield it and read the data. And so that's the operator fundamentals definitely needs to contain some of that information. The second part, and I call this the boring part of it, because it's just how to operate the Smaart program, how to make it do what you want. How, just like that whole thing about I'm trying to control this feed, and And yet I'm sending in a command and I'm telling it to change the view on the screen. So I come over and say, okay, here I'm the smart rig, whiteboard, computer, okay. So he comes back up. But that's actually important when you're trying to work in the field and you're trying to get things done and you're trying to make sure you're on the right measurement and all that. And so the Smart Operator Fundamentals class includes a healthy dollop of this operational stuff. And then the last part, see what I just did there? The last part is practical applications. This is the fun stuff. This is the stuff that we want to do. That's what a lot of people are coming to class for that. They don't want to come to just learn how to poke buttons and to control the software and all that. So the thing is that we've had a bunch of different tries at doing advanced classes, measurement classes that were doing some really advanced topics. And quite often, these trainings have been brought to the ground by having people show up at the class who, I mean, it's an advanced class, right? So they're sound engineers. So of course they're advanced because they're sound engineers. Every sound engineer is advanced. But the problem is that we'll have people showing up to the class that are advanced because they're sound engineers, but they don't know Smart. And so it ends up bringing the class down to just a basic level again. And the basics are important, but that's not what people want to do. People want to get into the applications. And so, and we put down here, all crammed into 2 or 3 8-hour days. These are long classes. There's a lot of information we're trying to get out there. The standard in the US for us, we teach a 3-day fundamental course. We find that if we do 2 days, we end up trying to cram so much into it that the payoff for a good 2-day class is just the realization you wanted a 3rd day. And so one of the things to say about this effort that we're doing right here and taking advantage of being able to create these online materials is it would be great as instructors, and I know that we have a bunch of our instructors that are in the listening audience, it would be great to be able to go to a class and have that middle part, the program operation stuff, that boring stuff, kind of already done, and so that we can really do in 2 days, really get deep into using the program and the stuff that people really want to come to do. What's not in the fundamentals class is system design or sound system engineering. We're not teaching you what a balanced line is. We're not teaching you, how to hook up a speaker system. Now, in order to use Smart is a tool that we use in system engineering. So it's important that you learn all of these things. There's one of the great things, I don't mean to say great things, but right now there's a lot of great material going online. A lot of the major manufacturers are out there putting this information out there, system design classes and engineering classes. And I say it's not a sound system alignment and tuning class. A lot of people attend our fundamentals class hoping that they're going to learn to tune a sound system. And really, tuning a sound systems are not smarted. They're Jamied or Michaeled or Bobbed or Erica'd or Karen'd or Chris'd. It's just a series of decisions that people are making in context of the two things above that, the system engineering and the design. And so there are a lot of great instructors out there right now probably streaming other stuff about these things, and we do have a few instructors, smart instructors, that regularly pair system design and system engineering classes with smart fundamentals classes. But in its essence, the operator fundamentals is really about being able to operate smart and understand the underpinnings of the measurements that you're doing, understanding how to control stuff. And of course, it's not a class about audio production, client politics, and that. It's ward stories come out, and it's always interesting, and there is a real reason why you want to learn to be very efficient with your smart rig, to be able to set it up quickly, to do your work, to get out of other people's way, because we are generally, in a lot of what we're doing, we are working simultaneously with other disciplines, with scenic, with lights, with video. Actually, right, video goes first, then scenic, then we're last. But basically, all got to share the space, and so the more efficient you can become, the more you can get along with everybody else, and that's actually a pretty damn important thing if you assume that our job is to have a successful use of the sound system. And so one of the most common sets of feedback that we get from our training classes is, one, not enough hands-on time. Now, when you come to a class, generally everybody is working on their own computer system. So they're running Smaart. So that's hands-on time, but that's not what they mean. What people mean is they want to be able to be adjusting the system and setting the DSP and playing with the fancy slidey bits and stuff like that. And that's just not really practically possible when we're taking these classes on the road all over the place. It requires a lot of gear. It requires a high teacher to student ratio, or at least lower class sizes. And so that's always been difficult to get real hands-on. The other things are it's not scheduled in the right place or time. We've generally found that for the classes that we've scheduled, it's kind of interesting because we get about a third of the attendees are in some way related to the venue where we're doing the class. About a third of them, it's local, like we're within an hour drive or we're regionally local, and so the timing was right and they got out for the class. And then you've got a third of the class where you got people that it's just that the timing was right in the class, and we end up with people from Vietnam in our Salt Lake City class, and it's great. It's kind of crazy, but that's the nature of our industry. We'll see how that changes, but it's all about right time, right place. We get the question, do you have a to-go version? So can we have this on video? We have a to-go version. It's called the manual, but nobody wants to read the manual and the help files. Read the help files. But having a to-go version of the class and video version of it is something that's requested all the time. And then, people want to do more advanced applications. I'll refer you back to the fact that we can't get into playing advanced play until we get our fundamentals down. And actually getting the fundamentals down is, I think, the most important thing in the class. So our answers have been, one of the answers we've come up with is about a year ago, Rational bought our new offices. And so we have a training facility, which I'm sitting in right here, with Jim Yakubuski on the screen behind me. But hopefully all you guys will get a chance to come on by and visit us. But we have the training facility where we can have a whole bunch of different hands-on measurements set up. We also have a relationship with a couple local theaters. And so we've got this work in progress where we're starting to do a hands-on class. We're doing it with 8 people at a time so that we don't end up, we got to maximize that student to equipment ratio and also teacher to student. What's great about it is if you come here, you can get access to myself and Chris and Johnny and Liz and all the people here. So it's a great experience. So that was one of our ways of answering the hands-on thing. We're doing more support videos. In fact, Michael just created a series of videos there's a YouTube playlist of just fundamental videos of operations. And that's part of our push to put that knowledge out there so people can show up to the classes and we can get past the boring and get into the more fun. And I apologize to anybody who finds that the basic operation of the program isn't boring. I don't mean to offend you. Then we've got these classes, the Smaart Operator Fundamentals Online, that we're just taking on right here. And this is to just give you guys what happens in the Operator Fundamentals class is that all these levels of training, the practical, the theoretical, the operational, we kind of were mushing them together. And with the average experience level for training Smaart for our instructors. We have instructors that have been doing this for 12, 15, 20 years. And so the different ways that they meld those together in the training is pretty darn interesting. What I'm really excited about in this is that I have this whole demo room here. And there are a lot of examples that I've long since stopped using in class because they're prohibitive to set up on the road. And so what I can do here, though, is with prep time before class, I can actually set them up. And here's a little shout out here. If you're going to do a demo in front of people, it's better to test it first and then do the demo. I end up doing classes where I put together a demo, but I haven't even looked to see if it works, and that's always exciting. But anyways, the Smart Operator Fundamentals Online is an opportunity to bring some of that class to you guys. And then we have been working on a operator certification exam, so that after you go through all the fundamentals training, or if you've been through a fundamentals training already, you can go online and take this exam and get an operator certification. Now, keep in mind, all that we're talking about certifying, is just that you know how to set up Smaart and control Smaart and some basic knowledge about the measurements. We cannot certify that you should touch my sound system. I cannot tell whether or not you understand how sound systems work. That's not what we're certifying. But it is great to know that you've attained some level of mastery, and this has been a request going. And so in the process that we're doing right now, we're in the process of finishing up that exam. So that's where the great idea is, what took you so long? Well, the thing is that all these things take time and concentration. In doing videos, one of the things that used to drive us nuts is that you would spend your time getting everything, your whole space set up to do a video, and then you have to do something else and you tear it down. And so you get one or half a video shot. You can go out there and you can probably find some videos online that I've shot in the past that are, basically... they were supposed to be a long series and they weren't, and they often take time and extra people. I bring in, hey Michael, I was just bring Michael in, but doing these things takes a lot of expertise. It takes setup time, it takes planning, and even when you got it planned out, getting it right. But so Michael, one of the things that we wanted to do is be able to have, like, for me, I'm talking to an empty room here. I'm used to looking at people's faces and getting some feedback, but what we wanted to do is get some feedback here from you guys. And so the people that live stream this can chime in. We've got Chris and we've got Michael's online, and Liz and Johnny, and so we've got people here to answer your questions as they go, and he can feed up some questions to us, and so we can get a little bit of interaction there. Oftentimes it's, I didn't understand how you explained that. Can you explain that again? And that's a very important part of the class. So I'm gonna hide you again, but he'll be back. He's going to wave. All right. And so this where we're at right now in the world, it's presented a unique opportunity for us to concentrate, because we can now, I'm not worrying about my next travel. I am not worrying about the next class. And so we finally got the moment to concentrate where our entire team can look at putting these things together and doing this series. And so we hope to be able to benefit from all the material we put together for time to come. And of course I switched the control view because sooner or later, by the time we get into like the 5th week of this, I will still be doing that. Okay, so what are the SOFO sessions, the Smart Operator Fundamentals Online sessions? It basically, what we're going to present is twice a week. We're going to present 45 to 60 minute chunks of my operator fundamentals class. So a lot of people that have been through that before, you're going to recognize some of the old, same stupid jokes that I tell in the class. But we're breaking it down. What's really cool is I'm excited that I can set up some experiments for demonstration where I don't have to do it by waving my hands to explain something, where I can possibly do it a little bit clearer. And we'll give you the class materials, the PowerPoint that I used, and any data. We'll give that to you afterwards as well. So, and the great thing about these is the people. I'll do the who first. With the who, it's gonna be myself and Michael. Well, I call him, he's the hyphen wrangler, but I'm going to call him the SOFO MC, because he's back there looking at the questions coming in and helping make this streaming happen. And we'll have Kristen Joris, who is our product manager, and he's one of our instructors. And so we have the chance to concentrate on these, and I think once a week we're going to be doing advanced subjects. And so this is something that, or advanced, not operator fundamentals subjects. And then those, Chris will be probably doing one a week as well. Who should attend? These classes these sessions are set up for anybody. Anybody can poke their head in. We are assuming that you're an professional audio engineer, so there's going to be some assumptions about your level of knowledge about how things work. The cool thing is that they're recorded, so you can come back to them, go get some definition, send us some questions, ask online while the streaming is happening. That's kind of a great thing. So I'm gonna bring Michael back into this scene up here, because he's instrumental in all this streaming. But when are we doing this? We're gonna live stream Monday, Wednesdays, and Fridays at 2 p.m. We're gonna have 2 hours blocked out, so we're gonna try and do 45 minutes to an hour's worth of material, and then take questions and things like that. For Monday and Wednesdays, that will be me doing just these chunks of my operator fundamentals. Whereas Fridays we'll do more advanced topics, maybe cover SPL, cover averaging, the fun with complex data, all sorts of stuff that we can touch on there. Definitely do an IR module time. We're just about to come out with version 8.5. This is all being taught on Smaart 8. So we are going to be using the most recent version, 8.4, which is the version that's out now. One of the advanced topics we can do is just a preview into what's new in 8.5. The cool thing about this, though, is that even though you can be here for the live stream, which you guys are, you're 30 seconds behind me, but you guys are here for the real time of it. You can walk away at any time, and you can come back if you thought that would be interesting. So that's kind of a cool thing about this, which means that you can pause it, you can go away, you can come back, and so that's a cool feature of capturing this stuff online.
Jamie, I'm just going to jump in real quick.
Yep.
A couple of folks asking about how do they view this later. The same link that you used to get here today will let you watch this video again later. So all you have to do is come back to this page.
And you can treasure it for forever to come. That was really interesting, is that I'm not sure if you guys caught that. For the geeks out there, probably know what just happened, is he hadn't spoken for a while. And so he started speaking, and we're using some amplifiers that were just in standby mode. So it wasn't, you could hear the high frequency come in first, and then we're geeks. What do you expect? Okay, so again, playback anytime after that. And the thing is that our whole support mechanism, Johnny and Liz and Chris and I and Michael and Gavin and everybody, we're out there right now, and we have nothing better to do than to help you with training and things like that. And I swear to you, I will learn to trigger the right thing. And then where this is actually the link that Michael had put up. This is where you would go to get that information right there. And so I think Are there any other questions? Michael, I'm looking because his face is over there for me.
Yeah, I'll just mention that in the description of this video, there is a link to a YouTube playlist. And that YouTube playlist right now contains the link to this webinar, and it will also contain the links to all future webinars. So that's the one you want to bookmark. And also, obviously, keep an eye on the Smaart Facebook group, because we'll be posting reminders there every day about the webinar.
Yep. Oh, and we got cool high techness. I've got a whiteboard set up. So I've got a camera on a whiteboard. So look for that coming to a classroom session near you. So I think that's it. I was hoping to do this in a half hour. It looks like I've nailed a half hour. Thank you for spending the time. I look forward to doing this on Monday. We'll see what we get out of it. Anybody that's ever done a class with me knows that they can go anywhere and weird things can happen. But generally, the coolest thing is none of you have to wear pants for them. That's one of the nicest things about learning.
Jamie's actually not wearing pants either right now.
Yeah, you can't prove that I'm not. All right, guys. Well, thank you so much for coming by and doing this, and hopefully we're gonna chart a new course for us for online learning. So thank you very much.